Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I don't understand why the Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos is putting in all the work with Chock Chapple. His refusal to leave Kansas may be hurting their relationship. The Golden Bachelorette star Joan Vassos has been working to keep her relationship with Chock Chapple going. But with Joan putting in all the effort while Chock pushes back against her ideas, I'm not sure I understand what's going on between them. Throughout their time together on the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan and Chock built a foundation they'd be able to build a relationship from. While Joan was happy getting to know the group of guys on the series, her relationship with Chock became the strongest connection of the season quickly, and the couple's engagement was ultimately a given. The Golden couple were quick to share their future plans after the season aired. While Joan and Chock were enjoying getting to know one another throughout the season's airing, the Golden Bachelorette couple were breaking down what their future plans would look like, as well, sharing with the world that they intended to move to New York City in a part-time arrangement. Joan and Chock revealed that they wanted to get to know each other's home states and then find a neutral space to grow together. Unfortunately, Joan and Chock's NYC plans have struggled to materialize in a real way. Although Joan and Chock have been doing the best they can to stay close while their relationship is long distance, it's been clear that there's been some difficulty in presenting a united front, especially surrounding their NYC move. Throughout the past season, Joan and Chock have been back and forth from each other's home states and spent a lot of time trying to narrow down what they want moving forward. While Joan has been visiting New York intermittently, as well, Chock has been less present on trips, instead choosing to remain in Kansas. While Joan's been exploring real estate, Chock's stayed put. While it's clear that Chock is happy with Joan and vice versa, it appears that the couple are struggling to connect when it comes to their future. Joan and Chock have been open about wanting to find somewhere to live together, but after returning to their homes and being in their own spaces, it seems like Joan is more eager to move than Chock is. While Joan's space in Maryland is close to her kids and grandkids, Chock's business is keeping him tied to the idea of staying in Kansas. Though Joan may want NYC, Chock has some other plans. With Chock seemingly refusing to move away from Kansas, it's possible Bachelor Nation is seeing a rift between the couple. Though it's not confirmed, it appears that Chock is more interested in staying in Kansas long-term than moving to New York City. While he's been open about the idea in the past, it's been a while since Bachelor Nation has heard about him moving at all, let alone to NYC. Instead, Chock has been sharing posts that heavily feature Kansas-owned brands and activities, making it clear that he's invested in Wichita, not New York, the way he'd said to Joan. Although Chock hasn't come directly out and shared that he's not happy with the idea of moving to New York, even part-time, he's been clear that he's going to focus his content on his current home. Chock's doing his best to make things right with Joan, of course, but his decision to try staying in Kansas has made Joan's life a lot harder. Rather than being able to travel around with her, Chock has put the majority of their long-distance relationship navigation on Joan, making her life even more difficult. While Joan may be irritated, she's putting in work. Although Joan and Chock have been open about the way their relationship has functioned thus far, it's clear that the couple are hiding something about their long-distance relationship currently. While Joan has been putting in the work by traveling around from Kansas to New York to Maryland and back again, she's also been doing more than Chock by way of keeping her relationship together. While Chock may have other responsibilities in Wichita that keep him from consistently traveling, he doesn't appear to be trying to keep things moving along smoothly at all. Joan is doing more than her fair share. Even though Joan and Chock have been doing their best to keep their relationship moving forward, the fact that Joan is doing more work than Chock shows a clear divide in their time together. While Joan may not feel the effects of doing more in the relationship yet, it's something that will wear on her and Chock as they continue in their relationship. As partners, Joan and Chock should be supporting each other in a way that's mutually beneficial for them. While Joan's traveling may help in the short term, Chock has to bend to Joan's will somewhere as well. As it becomes increasingly clear that Joan's NYC dreams aren't meshing with the fact that Chock wants to stay put in Kansas, I'm not understanding how this pair is going to meet in the middle. After announcing their NYC plans, it felt clear that they'd made an agreement that bordered on compromise, and Joan was interested in making a move that would benefit her well as Chock. While I assumed Chock was on the same page, he doesn't appear to be interested in bending for Joan in the same way she is for him, which could cause problems moving forward. While Joan and Chock have been happy together since their time on the Golden Bachelorette, the tide could be shifting for the couple as they get closer to finding a solution to their long-distance love. Though Joan may be willing to sacrifice her NYC dreams for Chock, I'm not convinced that she's going to be happier as she gives up something she clearly wants for Chock to stay put in Kansas. Though she may be willing to move to his home state, the fact that Joan will always be the one bending for Chock doesn't really sit well with me. Joan Vassos stepped into the world of the Golden Bachelorette, hoping to find a love that felt effortless, a connection so natural it would make up for all the years she spent without romance. And for a while, she thought she had that with Chock Chapple. The chemistry was undeniable, the laughs came easily, and he had a way of making her feel like she was the most cherished woman in the room. But as their relationship has progressed beyond the cameras and into the real world, it's becoming increasingly clear that Joan is the one putting in all the work, and it's hard not to wonder why. From the very beginning, Joan made it clear that she wanted a partner willing to meet her halfway. She wasn't looking for a long-distance pen pal or a man set in his ways, unwilling to compromise for love. And yet, that's exactly what she seems to have found in Chock. His insistence on staying in Kansas, despite knowing Joan's life is deeply rooted elsewhere, is raising eyebrows. Sure, it's great to be close to family, and no one can fault him for loving his home state, but isn't the whole point of this journey to take a leap of faith? Joan has proven time and time again that she is willing to make sacrifices for love. She's the one who flew out to see him, rearranged her schedule, and put in the effort to keep their romance alive. But is Chock willing to do the same? From the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like it. It's frustrating to watch a woman as wonderful as Joan put herself out there for someone who may not be as all-in as she is. She's not just any woman, she's an accomplished, independent, and warm-hearted person who deserves someone who will move mountains for her, not just expect her to do all the heavy lifting. At this point, it's fair to ask, is Chock really as serious about this relationship as Joan is, or is he just enjoying the idea of it while keeping one foot firmly planted in his comfort zone? Long-distance relationships are difficult, even under the best circumstances, but they only work when both people are equally committed to finding a solution that brings them together. Joan has already shown that she's willing to travel, adjust, and do what it takes to make things work. But if Chock refuses to leave Kansas, what does that say about his priorities? If he truly saw a future with Joan, wouldn't he be actively looking for ways to make their lives align, rather than expecting her to do all the adjusting? Let's also talk about the reality of Joan's situation. She has children, she has grandchildren, she has a whole life that she's built. Relocating at this stage of life isn't as simple as packing a suitcase and moving into someone's guest room. She's not some carefree 20-something who can pick up and start fresh without a second thought. Joan's roots run deep, and any man who wants to be with her should recognize that and be willing to meet her halfway. Of course, it's easy to say that Chock is just a product of his environment. He's lived in Kansas for so long that the idea of leaving might be overwhelming. But love requires compromise. If he truly wants to build a life with Joan, he has to show that he's willing to make sacrifices too. Relationships are a two-way street, and right now, Joan seems to be driving down it alone while Chock stands on the curb, waving at her from a distance. The most frustrating part of all of this is that Joan deserves so much better. She shouldn't have to convince someone to choose her. She shouldn't have to work so hard to make a relationship feel balanced. A man who truly loves her should be fighting just as hard to make things work. And if Chock isn't willing to do that, then maybe he's not the right person for her after all.